Yup. Peace, love, and light, family. Peace, peace. Look at these mangoes. Hold on. Look at them mangoes. Here, I'm going to give you a view of this mango tree. It's very beautiful. Just within the past, hasn't even really been that long. It's only been like a month and a half. Not even a month and a half. It's only been like a month. These mangoes are already like flourishing. Mama gives us fruit from the tree, and we give Mama our soil back. Our soil, our pot. We give Mama an equal exchange of energy. Mama gives us abundance, and we give Mama abundance back. This is how it works. This is how it works when one is in tune with Mama. I'll give you all a view of the view too. It's beautiful. It's too beautiful not to give my reflections a view of where everyone is supposed to be. Kundalini D, peace, reflection, peace, peace. One is always welcome on my page, always welcome on the comments. When one was asking a question I had yesterday, one was saying, oh, one's still in the chat room, as if one is not here, one is not with the family. One sees and recognizes the frequency. So one sees and knows that one should be here. And one is here in the mind, and one will be here, manifesting it into reality. And for those chosen, can do the same thing with manifesting it in reality. First, one must imagine. One must have the imagination, and from the imagination that one creates, and from the imagination one creates, they will manifest it into reality. So, today's video is called Have No Fear, Nature is Here. And the premise of this video is to have no fear. Fear is an insulator. Fear will block every and any blessing that one could receive from the universe, whether that being good or bad. There's many blessings, there's blessings and then there's lessons. So some things could be a lesson, and then there's other things that could be a blessing. But it all depends on the mental capacity and consciousness one has, your self-awareness, and the awareness of surrounding and what this realm is also takes part in that. When one realizes and figures out and puts the pieces together to realize that this construct, this design is all fake and is a manifestation of one's own conscious projection of the mind, interpreting electrical signals being sent, and electrical synapses being sent, one can create. One can be the orchestra of one's reality. One can look at things and say, that does not exist, or that does exist on a conscious level. Now, there are natural laws that we must follow. One of those natural laws is not stealing from nature, or not over-consuming. These natural laws need to be followed, and they are being broken by the lower self and the simulation that has been run from this bigger simulation. There's a natural simulation, and there's a simulation within that simulation that's unnatural to the constructs and the natural laws of how the bigger natural source was designed and created, and how it's constructed. So when one breaks this laws, one has to pay the piper, to pay the price and the consequences that come with being disobedient to nature. Now, getting out of this simulation and out of this program and realizing that one can manifest money and how to maneuver and manipulate energy and be able to work around this so-called system that they set up makes one powerful. Knowledge is power. So when one realizes this and is able to maneuver around this, one will be able to manifest things into reality. But one must have a pure heart and one must be humble, because when one doesn't have a pure heart and one isn't humble, one will manifest what one wants, but it comes with attachments. Because one did not become pure of heart, one did not clear the mind of all the pollution and toxins from the old programs that one has been run on. If one is conscious. If one isn't conscious, they can still manifest it, but there's always going to be something that's going to be attached along with that. Like if one were to manifest $200,000, one could do that, and if they weren't conscious, or if they were conscious, but they were not humble and they were not pure and they were greedy, and they had they just weren't pure of heart, and it wasn't for a good intention, there will be attachments like maybe this being would get in an accident and have to. It would be his fault, and he would have to pay all that money to, to this guy they caused, or maybe this being would have child support, and there would just be some attachment that would come along with the money that one has manifested because this being was not pure of heart. Now, money is just energy, another form of energy. They use this to manipulate beings and people's energies inside the simulated system. They use this to put a separation between what is naturally ours, the resources that are naturally grow from the ground that are free. And they create all these obstacles to make it seem as if it isn't free, to make it seem as if what they're doing is they're manifesting it. But what they're doing, they make it seem as what they're doing comes from them, like they're the ones that create it. But really, it's all naturally created. All this fruit, all this produce, it's all can be naturally done and naturally agricultured, and it's naturally produced by Mama. This is all something that happens naturally. But when one goes against nature and sins by stealing the seeds and then creating their own farm to sell and go against Mama, to go against nature, this is breaking the natural laws. When one breaks the natural laws, they have to pay. So there is a price for going against nature. There's a price for going against one's own harmony. Just as we have a nervous system that lets us know, when we are doing something that's against our own natural system, and me, slapping my hand on a piece of wood, or burning myself on a flame. Burning myself on a flame or fire is going against the natural order of my body. My being isn't meant to be put over fire. My being isn't meant to experience that pain from what the nervous system says. So that's to let us know that we have done something wrong that goes against our construct. So some things take a while to flutter up. Someone can do something that's against nature, and then it will take a while for that to catch up with that being, but it will catch up with that being. Rest assured. So have no fear, because Mama is behind your side. If one is conscious and one is coming in to one's natural environment, being a part of nature, and being a part of the oneness, one does not have to fear and one does not have to worry, because Mama is behind one's side. If one is humble, one is pure at heart, one will have no trouble coming into nature and manifesting money and getting everything that one needs. So there is no fear. There is absolutely no fear. Mama is always there to provide. Mama is always there to listen. Mama is always there to hear one's thoughts. One can always come to Mama. One can always talk to Mama. Mama loves it when one acknowledges it, when one acknowledges her. It's important to acknowledge Mama, because Mama is the source of where everything comes from. And we must turn back to that source. We must get back to that oneness. We must get back to what is authentic, becoming one's authentic self. I just want to make sure. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm getting good signal here. Reflections. I'm up by this mango tree, but gonna have to migrate eventually to go do my videos down over the hill to get better service down there, and I want my reflections to still be tuned in. So I just want to make sure. Okay. So yeah, it's very important that we cast away all fear. Cast away anything that blocks one's energy flow from being authentic. Any fears, anything that maybe one has hate in the heart, which hate is a derivative of fear because one hates something in fear of something else. So one needs to get rid of all these insulated emotions, all these insulative emotions. One can feel this, but one does not need to let this turn into a feeling. When one lets this manifest into a feeling, it can manifest into one's reality, and then a projection, a reflection will pop up in one's reality to show one something about oneself, because everything is a reflection of self. Everything is a reflection of one based off one's astrology, so one will get something that will affect one's emotion based off their astrology. So when one studies their astrology and then a being pops up that messes with their emotions, astrologically one can pinpoint and be like, okay, this is part of the being that's coming to press a button in my astrology in this point, in this part in time, and this is why I'm feeling this way. They can rationalize it in their head and then be able to cast that negative thought out. When beings are unconscious of self and don't know why things are happening and don't have the answers, this leads negative feelings that will harbor in one's being, and they will stay and fester and mutate into like some other negative mutation of whatever, and it will just be gross and nasty, and it will pop up and keep popping up when beings don't deal with this, because one cannot run away from oneself. There's always going to be a reflection that one's going to have to face in the mirror. So one has to deal with one's emotions, one has to rationalize, one has to be able to talk about one's feelings and emotions and be able to cast those demons out, because those demons will block one from being great, becoming great. I hope my reflection can see me. I hope my reflection can hear me. But it will create blockages. And this is not good. This is not good to create blockages in one's being. One also wanted to finish up on a question to answer from 3 days ago. If anyone has any questions as I'm talking, feel free to ask those questions, and we can get those out of the way. It's probably going to be a short video because I don't know if there's any reflections that are in the building right now, but I was just stating it's going to be finished up. This is going to be a finish up of the question and answer that I had yesterday. It's going to be a finish up of the question and answer that I had yesterday too. So if anyone has any questions, they can ask. Yeah, one might. This is probably if no one does, then one's going to cut it short, and I do another video today too. Down over the hill. I kind of got bad service here, and one doesn't want to go down to the hill right this second. So we're going to try to finish up this. One's going to finish up this video here, and then the main thing that I wanted to state though is have no fear, because nature is here. That's a message I wanted to bring across to all my reflections, reflecting my light. I just want to say that have no fear. Nature is here. Nature is always with one, and will always be with one. When one humbles themselves and becomes in tune with that of what one is, the source, and gives their pot back, loves and talks to the trees, and becomes one with the birds and the bees, then one will, one will see the pure divine manifestations and essence of nature, and to never be afraid to get out of Babylon, and don't be afraid to do this, because nature is beside you. Nature is you. Nature is one, and she will always be one. So yeah, don't be afraid. Just gonna give another view, because this view is so breathtaking. Okay, Reflections. Well, I'll be back on later today, down over the hill, so I apologize if this video is a little choppy or whatever. I'm gonna go down over the hill and I'll have great service there. I'll be able to shed my light and actually give a better quality video than sitting next to the mango tree, even though the mango tree is beautiful. I love this mango tree, but service is down there, and one's going to be going down there next video, so that I can give a divine message, and it won't be so chopped. But I love myself. Have no fear.